chunky arms or double chins or belly, like a double belly, a B belly. Like there are such little things that some people just find so adorable, and like you're brainwashed into thinking that like, oh, everybody thinks my fat body is ugly because I don't look like a tummy tuck BBL plus size girl.
Do men really care about your weight on a dating profile? I'm perplexed. This has to be some sort of psyop, right? Is it in fact a reality that if you are a bigger woman on a dating profile, men will banish you into the shadow realm, never to be seen again? Or is it simply just a matter of confidence? Does your confidence in your ability to shine bright play a pivotal factor in whether or not men find you attractive? We're gonna find out today. See here, what we have are two independent videos. One of these creators falls more under what I would call the delusional spectrum, and the other one is somewhere along the lines of the middle of reality. And we're gonna dissect this here. I really wanna know if weight does in fact matter on a dating profile or just in real life in general.
Men don't care that you're fat, they care that you're insecure. This video is specifically for the big girls, and I'm gonna say this in the nicest possible way. You gotta stop cropping those face pics and not showing your body on dating apps.
I agree.
Okay? You need to put pictures of your full body on the dating apps. You do. It's like in the long run,
totally
it's in
agree.
your best interest to be transparent about who you are, what you look like. Someone will love you for who you are, and they will love you for what you look like. Like, we all genuinely, for some reason, seem to think that everybody has the same taste in women and they all want us to look like a perfect little model or whatever. And that's so not the case. Like, there are men who love like,
okay, so far she is kind of base. She's making a little bit of sense here. I can't say that she isn't. You know, one thing that I think a lot of you ladies do, and I think is totally a disservice, and when other women tell you that this should be the move, I really think it's not in your best interest, is the whole like cropping the whole face photo where you're only showing a portion of your face. Realistically, men are visual creatures, and we do want to see your entire body. We want to see what we are potentially going to be working with, right? There's nothing wrong, by the way, with wanting to see what somebody fully looks like, because it is downright near deceptive, I would say, if you don't want to show someone. And if you are a woman that feels the need to cover your complete body and never actually show yourself, you have to really stop and wonder what's going on behind the scenes. You know, is this a confidence factor, or are you ashamed of what you look like and feel that somehow if this person just meets you in real life, they can supersede the fact that you are misrepresenting yourself and will in fact love you and give you an opportunity? That's not always really necessarily the case, but I do agree with her on the fact that you should definitely not just do the whole face photo thing.
Chunky arms or double chins or belly, like a double belly, a B belly. Like there are such little things that some people just find so adorable, and like you're brainwashed into thinking that like, oh, everybody thinks my fat body is ugly because I don't look like a tummy tuck BBL plus size girl. And that is so not the case. You guys see me, I have a big belly, I have a smaller chest, and I can get on Tinder and I can pull doctors, I can pull lawyers, I can pull athletes. The men don't care that you're fat, they care that you're insecure.
Okay, I don't fully agree with what she said. So always be mindful, ladies and gentlemen, or whatever you identify as. Be mindful that just because you are a bigger person and you can pull somebody from the interwebs does not necessarily mean that you can keep them. There is a distinct difference between someone having a sexual interest in you. You know, maybe it's 3 or 4 in the morning and, you know, the dude just got back from the bar and he really is kind of feeling a certain way and, you know, they hit you up. Someone that is willing to give you sexual pleasure doesn't necessarily translate to relationship potential, because once more, someone that wants to hook up with you doesn't necessarily share an interest in you. Now, regarding the whole thing about her saying that some people like fat on the arms or like double chins or like double, triple bellies, things of that nature, that is going to be subjective, because you do have some dudes who are in fact into that. And once more, look, I'm not judging anyone's type. If you are the type of person that is into a particular individual, you know, mazel tov, good for you. I'm glad that you're able to explore that. I personally like different body types, but there is a distinct difference between someone who takes care of themselves or makes a modicum of effort versus someone who just gave up on life. There's a distinct difference.
And so the more you can work on that and do like exposure therapy of just saying, here's my body, this is me, I'm showing up authentically. Maybe you're working on that, maybe you're not. It's none of their fucking business. But showing up authentically is going to make other people feel comfortable. And when people feel comfortable around you, they enjoy being around you. And I get that it's coming from like a place of insecurity and like you can't help it. It's something you have to work on and society's ingrained that in you. But do you ever stop and think like if you're sitting there picking yourself apart nonstop, your friends are going to start to wonder what you're thinking about them. When I post a selfie and I don't Facetune it and fix all my flaws and, you know, hide my blemishes and stuff, are you sitting there looking at my pictures thinking like, oh, her double chin looks bad here. Oh, she looks fat from that angle. Like, would you ever say that about me? Then why the fuck are you saying it about yourself? You know that is whack. You know that is whack. You're hot. You're fat. You're hot. Show it off. You are gonna land some fine ass men's. And this don't even get me started on the lesbians, because lesbians love a big girl. Every time I post a thirst trap, it is all the lesbians in my comments asking me to marry them and shit. The lesbians love a fat. So if you're gay, you gotta be putting hella full body pics on those apps, because you'll have those women, the U-Hauls will be lined up outside your house, ma'am. I'm telling you. The men don't.
I gotta give it to her. She is pretty funny. Okay, so once more, you know, you being secure about who you are as a person is going to be a pivotal factor in whether or not somebody that is interested in you will in fact stay interested in you. Being able to pull somebody, whether they're a doctor or a lawyer or what have you, doesn't necessarily mean that this person is going to want to be with you. I didn't see a ring on her finger, nor should it be implied that she should be married, because whatever, do your own thing. I personally don't know if she's dating somebody or whatever the case might be. I like the messaging behind, you know, being more secure with who you are. I feel like your message will be better served if you not only told people to be more confident and stop using just like those cropped photos, but also consider your weight as a deterrent, you know, because once more, there are healthy levels of fat and there are extremely detrimental levels of fat where you reach a point of no return, where you're possibly taking a bunch of medication just to not die throughout the course of your day, or you might have some sort of chronic conditioning. You know, you might be a diabetic. There could be a ton of things, a plethora of conditions that are wrong with you simply because of your weight. So I do wish these influencers would kind of factor that in. Now, granted, I haven't seen all her content, so I don't know if this is something that she does do on the side. You know, she might. But I will say she did give some good advice. I do think you should ultimately be confident in who you are. You should be willing to show your full body photos when you are utilizing dating applications just to avoid misrepresentation. But where I will say she kind of falters is in her saying that there's nothing wrong with being fat. Now, inherently, once more, if you exist in a bigger body, you do have intrinsic value as a human being. I'm never going to take that from you. But to kind of make it seem like it's a nothing burger is kind of a misrepresentation of what it really is. Once more, I think that if you take better care of yourself and you're still in a bigger body, then you are at least showing a desire to want to be healthier, a desire to want to live longer and care about yourself. Because in the eyes of the person that you are trying to court, it is going to be a little difficult for them to believe that you are this pillar of health or just someone that, you know, can actually take good care of themselves, because it's not what you're showing. And if you are in an abnormally large body, it does show people that you do not finish what you start, you have low impulse control, and you are inevitably going to be somebody that's difficult to deal with. Not because you're big, but because your bigness stops you from doing the things that you have to do.
You will notice a difference in dating whenever you lose weight. I recently lost 56 pounds, and listen, I am not a skinny mini. I am still in what you consider a curvier, bigger, plus size body. But when I was dating the last 4 years with those 56 pounds, I was in a big body, okay? Number one thing I noticed that is different is your weight correlates with the type of attention that you get. When you grow up bigger, you kind of have the mindset that no one is attracted to you, point blank period, because you're fat and you're gross. Whenever I first started dating and guys were kind of leading with attraction, I was like, oh my gosh, guys are attracted to me. They want to hook up with me, but then of course they're also going to want to date me. Wrong. Learn that one the hard way.
You see? this is pretty base. She's basically saying what I said. Just because you are in a certain body, if you're a big woman or a big guy, it doesn't necessarily mean that these people are going to want you long term or want you for you. They could want you for right now. And I do sort of like the contrast on how in the first video the girl was talking about just be big and be okay with it. And the second girl's like, yeah, I was big, but when I lost weight, let me tell you what I noticed. And this is kind of the reality of life. I am digging this so far.
Side note, of course, there are guys who are always going to want to date you no matter what your weight is, but the journey is just going to be harder, okay? And that's just really the point of this video. So please don't get mad at me. Love you. Thank you. But back to what I was saying. So whenever I was...
Before I have her continue, and I know people hate when I interrupt the video, but the fact that she had to sort of preface this by saying that please don't hate me means that she inherently knows that if she does speak her mind in any way, shape, or form, she's going to be met with backlash. And it's really sad because I think what she's just trying to illustrate here is that it's okay to date in a smaller body or in a bigger body. I don't believe she's against bigger bodies, but when you kind of speak on this subject where you're talking about the differences on how you're treated when you're thinner, you are often met with a lot of backlash. So I think it's kind of sad that she had to sort of like preface that. I think she should just be able to speak her mind and, you know, call it a day.
Plus 56 pounds, I noticed that a lot of messages I was getting on dating apps, and I've shared about this on here before, were very overly sexualized. I would look at these messages that I was getting compared to these messages that my friends were getting. They were getting guys coming in with intention. They were getting guys coming in and taking them on dates. I was getting, hey, want to come over to my house? Hey, sit on my... When a guy comes in like that, overly sexualized, they are just shooting their shot in the dark because they are not afraid to mess it up with you. They are not afraid to potentially lose a match with you. Because when a guy has intention with you, he is going to be so afraid to say the wrong thing and mess it up with you that you are going to be getting asked on a date. You are going to be taken out in public, and he's going to treat you with respect. Crazy. The number one thing I've noticed, minus 56 pounds, is I am getting guys coming in way more intentional. I'm going on dates, we're having conversation, they're not coming in hot with the sexualization stuff, and it feels so good. Okay, like I finally feel like I am being seen for who I am, and I hate that we have to change the outer for someone to see the inner. I would go on a weight loss journey a million times over to just finally be like seen again and feel like I'm being treated with respect. I've seen some of you who, you know, also struggle with weight and dating as well. You're like, well, if I lose the weight and then I'm gonna meet someone and I'm not gonna know if he would love me if, you know, I was in a bigger body. The unfortunate truth is no, maybe that person wouldn't look in your direction, but I also don't think it makes that person a bad person either. I think.
Thank you. Somebody said the quiet part out loud. It is indeed true. Just because you are in a bigger body and you are rejected, it does not make you the Antichrist. You are not this horrible person from another realm that decided they were going to smite those in bigger bodies just because they didn't find you attractive. Being somebody in a bigger body will ultimately determine what level of attraction you are going to find. Again, she said it earlier, when she was in a bigger body, dudes were a lot more brazen and over-sexualized her because they felt that they can get away with it. And yeah, that's a reality. You know what? It might suck, but there are dudes that are like that, and I don't condone that behavior. But let's face it, if they see that you don't care about yourself or you're willing to take better care of who you are, they're gonna sort of treat you in the way how you treat yourself, if that makes any sense. But if you are in a thinner body and you appear as more attractive and healthier, you are going to get people with more intention that put better intention inside of you because they're seeing you as an investment. If someone can take care of themselves, and that means they have no problem investing more in who you are as a person because they know that you meet a similar lifestyle to what they meet. If you're a big girl, for example, right, that goes after a guy that's in the gym, you love your muscle heads, right? And I know I've had a lot of women, bigger women, say they bag strong guys at the gym all the time. That's great, but how many of those strong guys are actually making you their girlfriend? They're not. Just because you've been tricked into believing that that's the case, it doesn't mean it's so. The average guy that works out constantly and is in the gym, they don't necessarily want someone that's on the same level as them, but they want someone that's at least trying. Just a small mustard seed of effort can sometimes be enough, and vice versa on the women's side. A lot of women that I've seen go to the gym, I've noticed go for a particular guy. They're not going for big, fat, chunky guys. They're going for dudes that do take care of themselves. And whether the dude doesn't have to be super muscular, but he has to at least make an effort and show that he's taking care of himself. Look, ultimately, I said all of that just to say this: whether you're big or small is going to ultimately play a factor in how people see you. And you might say that's, you know, unfair, but it's also a reality of life. Okay, people judge you for all types of things that you do in this world. Whether you speak with intellect or you speak with a little less savory language, you know, people are going to treat you differently because of that, right? Men and women and whatever you identify all get treated differently based on who we are as people and how we present ourselves. Perception is reality, right? Well, if you perceive and you show yourself in a certain way, that is how that person is going to treat you accordingly. So just be mindful of that. Anyways, deuces.